Hello, friends and adventurers, and welcome to Grognard and Friends, where friends gather to explore the Aria and play Dungeons and Dragons. And speaking of the friends, let's check out this week's episode of Grognard and Friends. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving and a less than turbulent Black Friday. And everyone's here fully digested and excited to get things together this evening. Normally, I would do the summary, but Kalandra has asked to do the summary. So I am going to turn this over, God help us, to Kalandra. Take it away, your gnomish.
Thank you so much, Paul. When last we met was planning prep and a poor puking Vivalda. After realizing that he was low on scarves, Reed prepared to go shopping, and Butt Trumpet so generously offered to accompany him, leaving Gaius and Kalandra alone at the hag. Reed set off in search of scarves and food on sticks. To his astonishment, he found a cart selling glorious wieners on sticks with a lovely variety of dips. Wieners were priced quite reasonably at 3 copper a wiener with complimentary sauce. Kalandra, sitting at the hag with Gaius, felt her dirty joke senses tingling. But Trumpet and Reed purchased their wieners, and Reed got a baker's wiener in his bouquet of wieners. With Reed lamenting the voice of Gaius in his head, after procuring and dipping their wieners, Reed and Butt Trumpet set off to get scarves, finally. Gaius and Kalandra kept having innuendo outbursts for some strange reason. Gaius offered to celebrate a successful jailbreak by taking Kalandra on a good trip, since, surprisingly, she had never partaken in hallucinogens. Butt Trumpet, on the way for scarves, found a onesie stand and proceeded to get the most amazing onesies. Specifically, a black rabbit onesie with the purple inside the ears, a nice purple puffy tail, because it's important to be subtle when you're going on a ninja mission. Having procured wieners and onesies, the duo finally made their way to get scarves. And got some socks as well, thank you very much. While trying to make their way back to the hag, they were followed by a gang of the most nefarious kind, theater kids singing show tunes, and Butt Trumpet reminded Reed to keep his wieners to himself. They found a guard to help them and get the kids following them to go away. Reed offered one of his delicious wieners in exchange for the guards, ensuring them safe passage. And Butt Trumpet's Puss in Boots eyes sealed the deal. The guard greedily snatched 2 wieners, but Butt Trumpet and Reed made it back to the hag safely, arms full of sauce-covered upright wieners on a stick. As they wrap up their preparations and set out for the meeting at the Stone's Throw with Toad and Mr. Finn, they realized that Kalandra was still, casual Fridays. She was not dressed appropriately. But once she remedied that, they headed to the Stone's Throw, where the group found several guards watching the Stone's Throw, preventing them from meeting Toad and Mr. Finn there. Toad was actually already heading toward the Stone's Throw, and Guy saved the day, messaging him about the situation and directing him to meet up with everyone. They headed back to the hag, where they met up with Mr. Finn and went up to Kalandra and Reed's room for their meeting. They began finalizing plans to free Butterbeer, and as well as Andrew Edwards and a contact of Mr. Finn's. The group learned that Toad believed Gaius, he could gain access to one of the top 2 floors where he could release prisoners to create a distraction and keep the guards busy. Mr. Finn had yet to determine who he will send to aid the group. Gaius expressed his request for the Grey Shadow. Due to the stone's throw's imminent auction, Gaius fears time is of the essence, and the group decides to attempt the jailbreak the next evening. Gaius contacts Murph after the meeting with the focus on gaining safe passage and any last-minute preparations. Everyone agrees to meet up the following afternoon to begin the task of entering the underground tunnels and making their way to the prison by the next evening. And Reed had to smell the vomit bucket.
Thank you, Kalandra. That was actually a lot safer than I expected. Okay, let me get you up to speed what has happened in your absence as a player. Reed had stayed back at the Hag, and because he had everyone's figures from eating stuff out of his own pockets, which had been lined with bacon grease, was not feeling very well for some reason. After all this time, it finally caught up to him, or maybe he caught something else. When everyone was at the Duck, you decided to go back. They had talked about having Reed there for the meetings. So you volunteered to go back to the Hag, the Green Hag, and get Reed. You made your way back there. He was nowhere to be found. So you turned around, came back to the Duck, and everyone from your group had left.
Oh, so rude. Okay.
Now, you asked Marge where they were, and Marge and the ogress Tulip started talking to you. Marge gave you an ale, which, because she was kind of like, it was a little busy. It was a lot busy, actually. Okay. And she said, you want something? You want something? You said, I'll have an ale. So she pulls you an ale, and you start talking to her, and Tulip's telling you about new t-shirts she's designing. But during this time, you notice someone on the opposite side of the bar down at the end, wearing a deep hood. It's kind of a ragged hood. It almost looks like it's made out of burlap. When the light hits, you see the skin is almost like parchment. It's kind of this yellowy brown, and it's almost like parchment, and they have very watery eyes that are a very strong kind of sickly yellow. He just seems to be, you're assuming it's a he might not be. His nose part of it seems to be missing, almost like it was eaten away. He's nursing a tankard of something. Out of the corner of your eye, as Marge is handing you the ale, you notice he does some hand motions and seems to be mumbling under his breath. But then, Marge is in front of you and you don't see anything anymore. And everything seems fine. You're having a nice conversation. You're finding that your brain has been getting very, very cloudy. You're having a hard time concentrating. You're having a hard time focusing. You really are having a difficult time. You have a couple sips of the ale after that, after the initial drink from, kind of quenching your thirst. But you feel real weird, and your stomach's a little off too. So
as an elf, I can't be charmed. So is this something that is something else?
You're not sure. You're not sure what it is, but it doesn't feel like a charm. It feels more like something with your mind, more so than opening you up to suggestion. It's not like you looked around the bar and saw anyone and was like, obviously they're a good friend. Consider everything they say, or however.
I see. Okay.
It was something more that you just, all of a sudden, your brain got very cloudy. Your mind got very cloudy. You felt you had a hard time focusing. You had a hard time concentrating. And your stomach started to twist a little bit and get a little knotted. You excused yourself, and you started heading back to the Green Hag. And the closer you got to the Green Hag, the more you were pretty sure that you had the feeling like, from your passive perception, that you were being followed. The closer you got to the Green Hag, the more your stomach was beginning to feel sick, actually. And the more your mind was getting so cloudy, and it reminded you of times in the past when you've had too much alcohol. But there was more to it than that. It was just, you certainly weren't going to be thinking any complex thoughts. You weren't going to be thinking anything with multiple parts to it. You kind of were able to deal with simple things, such as getting yourself back to the green hag. For instance, you found yourself out in front of the hag at the very end, and there were a couple times that you're like, where am I? Why am I here? And you saw these feathers, and you're like, feathers? That's weird. And then the next thing you know, Gaius is in front of you. You're not exactly sure what happened after that. You wake up the next morning. You obviously, your mouth is caked, and it feels with like you've been sick. You can tell that you've been sick, but your head is clear again.
How much do I remember from
Basically
the night?
what
Like
I just
everything
told
you just
you.
told me?
Basically what I
Okay.
just told you.
Then I think the first thing that she's going to think about is how she felt like she was being followed, and immediately want to kind of check the perimeter and secure everything to make sure everybody is safe and
Okay.
nobody has followed her.
Okay. We will come back to that in a little bit. Okay, friends. You had your meeting yesterday with Toad and Mr. Finn. Mr. Finn took his leave. Toad took Calandra and went up to her room. And then everyone called it a night. Guys, if you would be so kind as to roll me... Yeah, give me an intelligence roll.
How the dice are looking tonight. A 19.
Very good.
Brain engaged, apparently.
Yeah, well, no, you were thinking about your new acquaintance that you met in Coinkisser's court and about the gambling house, because it's been a while since you've played cards or dice or anything, and
Yeah.
you just kind of felt a bit of an itch, and you've been kind of thinking about that a little bit because you just all of a sudden started kind of going, I haven't done that for a while. That I should probably not let myself get out of practice here. And then, but then you kind of got a hold of yourself. And your last thought was, well, I don't remember who said this, but somebody said that the deck of cards we have is kind of like gambling. And you went, And that's the final thought you had.
Oh, yeah, no, it was just, yeah. I mean, I only had the one bad thing happen. The rest of it was either innocuous or maybe good. Though we did, I think someone may or may not have toppled down an entire building full of people.
Yeah, but you also know that you don't necessarily know that was from the cards. There was...
No, I don't know. I just suspect. The correlation of messing with those things and then one of the people who mess with the deck of cards, place of business being vaporized the next day.
She also speak about talking to the prince.
She did not speak. Well, she did speak about them.
Okay.
To be quite honest, seeing as I've watched that episode, I can't honestly remember if I was going under the impression that even if I knew that info, it could be 50-50 at that point.
Okay. Did she say that she drew the card and then that happened?
I know she messed with the deck. Okay. Chris, from watching, is definitely sure about her talking with that individual, but I'm not sure if she relayed that to the party personally. I think she may have told us. I mean, it's not like Calandra really hides anything, so it wouldn't surprise me that she just told us flat out. But either way, yeah. So at the very least, this still holds a suspicion that the cards have potentially done this.
But Trumba, you sleep, but you're woken up with a little voice saying, "Are you awake?"
I am now. Are you okay?
You look down and you're kind of cuddling the dolly in your arm, and the head seems to be looking up towards you. Yeah, I was just thinking.
About what?
Well, you said something. You asked me if I had ever been a person, and I don't think I was. I was just thinking, would I want to be a person? Is that a something that I might like, do you think?
Well, that would entirely depend on you. It's a bit of responsibility being a person or a full being in a body, but you get to experience a lot more, and you wouldn't have to rely on others to get you to and from places. I've been wondering,
Yes?
you've been getting a feeling for what my friends are like. They're the type of people that I don't want to keep secrets from. Would you be okay if I started to let them know that you and I have been talking?
That's totally up to you. I don't know where the memory comes from, but I have a memory of people finding out about me and it causing problems.
Oh,
It could be a dream. I don't even know if I dream. But there's something in my head that it's either a memory or a dream happening more than once, even in my head.
oh.
So, but it I don't want to tell you what to do, but
Well, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to be scared because of me.
I wouldn't be scared because of you. You're my friend. You wouldn't let anything happen to me, right?
I most certainly would not.
And I'm not going to let anything happen to you.
Thank you.
Friends to the end.
That's right.
So you do what you feel is right. But back to me being a person.
Yes,
How would one such as myself go about doing that? How would we do that?
that's a good question. I suppose if you don't remember being one before you were this form, I suppose someone with very powerful magic would have to turn you into one.
So powerful magic might do it?
Yes, but that would have to be very careful, and you'd have to find someone trustworthy who would have your best interest at heart and not want to hurt you.
Like you, right?
Well, I've never tried to do that before, and it would take some studying, but who knows?
Hmm.
Maybe. Well, I mean, one of my friends is also a wizard, and I've been studying with him a bit. I can ask him, and I'd like to hope that I can find my master who is even more powerful than I am.
This is
My
the
good master.
you've said that you had two masters. You're talking about the young man with the on his face, right?
Yes, Eldred.
He gives me a weird feeling.
Oh, he's just a funny guy. He
Okay.
doesn't mean any harm. He's been very kind to me.
Oh, good. Okay. Does he do strong magic?
Well, from time to time, I think. I know he's studying very intensely. I'll talk to him about it, okay?
Okay.
You trust me?
I trust you with my everything.
Wow, I appreciate that, and I don't take it lightly.
I don't give it lightly. I've I think I've been around people where I've just kept quiet into myself and they didn't know any better. I don't remember the details of a lot of these people. The only person I remember is her.
Do you have any idea how long you might have been with her?
I think a long time.
I can understand. When you don't feel like you can trust many people, you don't really want to tell anybody anything. I understand that it took a lot for you to feel safe enough to talk to me, and I appreciate that.
Well, you're just a good person.
I try to be. That's all I want.
So we have to find some sort of powerful magic that can change or bring about change and something like that, right?
If you are absolutely sure, because being a person means a lot more than just being taller and being able to eat. You have to eat to survive. You need sleep. You need clothes.
I have
You need.
clothes.
You have clothes?
I'm wearing this pretty dress.
Well, you'd need bigger clothes than that.
Oh,
Yeah. And you can't have the same ones all the time.
oh really?
Yeah, it's a weird thing, but it's more of
The
a
little
social
boy doesn't
convention.
change his clothes that much.
No, he doesn't, and he's a little smelly as a result. And you have to clean yourself, and you have to stay healthy so that you don't have to go to the doctor.
What's a doctor?
A doctor is a person who uh, is healing and gives you the right remedies when you're sick or injured.
Oh, like your big friend who talks a lot.
Yes, and they come in different forms, and they don't always drink.
I think that's probably good. I've never drunk.
Yeah, I take it from me, don't, because at my size, it makes you real sick. Yeah, it is a little dangerous being a human, but
Hmm.
there are a lot of cool experiences. But think on that for a little while, okay? Make
Okay.
sure that this is a decision you really want deep in your heart.
I was. It was a thought. I just. I've never met somebody like you before, and I don't know. It just got me thinking.
I understand. Not very many people have met someone like me, and I've never met anyone like you.
Aw, shucks. Thanks. I think. Right?
It's a good thing.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay. Well, that was just kind of weighing on my mind. I just thought I'd ask.
No problem. Thank you for telling me.
No problem. So, great magic to change things. Okay. I'll let you get back to sleep now. I'm just
Okay.
going to think more about this. So we'll say it is the next morning, and we'll say Reed's the first one up.
I have this song in my head. I don't know why. If Gaius and Eldrin aren't up, I tell them I'm going downstairs and I might get breakfast.
You hear two voices kind of go. So you go downstairs.
Is the guy by the window?
Yeah.
Ah. Oh my god!
This guy again.
No Viv down here?
Mary
And then I'm
says,
down
"Would you like a drink?"
Sure. I'll take what kind of morning drinks do you have?
Oh, I have morning beer. I have morning ale. I have morning cocktails. Your friends liked the coffee cocktail I made.
Okay, I'll try that.
She goes about whipping together a drink. Eventually, serves it in front of you. It looks like coffee, but has cream on top.
Well, I like that. I like
The
cream.
latte foam art.
Mm-hmm. I take a little sip.
Okay, it's cold and
Good.
it tastes like coffee, but you can tell there probably isn't really any coffee in it.
I just take little sips.
Okay.
And I walk over to the guy by the window. Can I see his face in the hood?
It's kind of leaning down, going through a book, making notes. You see the tip of a nose, and I'll tell you what. Give me a perception check, please, with disadvantage because we're going to do it like combat with 3/4 cover sort of thing.
Ugh, not good.
Okay. You just see the tip of what looks like a nose. Might be a nose sticking out.
I say, good morning.
The hand stops writing for a second, just freezes. The hood turns slightly towards you. You see a glow of golden eyes. A light catches a sheen of the skin, which looks a little kind of like almost like a seafoam color, like a bluish green. And you hear a voice say, "Good morning. And who might you?"
My name's Reed. I see you here a lot, and I was just wondering, are you writing down spells? Are you a wizard?
You're very perceptive for one so little. I've noticed you and your friends too.
Hmm.
You're partially correct. I'm reading up on certain magic research and history, you could say. You look again, you notice very high cheekbones, and as they speak, you notice the teeth are very bright white, but they also have what looks like incisors that are rather narrow and sharp on the top and bottom.
Um,
Are you interested in magic?
just a little. I don't know much about it. So my friends, I'm traveling with two wizards. Like, four of my friends can cast spells. I don't know what two of them are. Definitely two wizards.
Ah,
So they know a lot about magic. They might be able to help you if you're doing like
oh, do tell.
learning from the book or whatever.
That could be very helpful. Hmm.
What's your name?
I am Malicent. And they put out a hand, and the hand is also this kind of seafoam blue green with very long kind of nails that come like an inch off and that come to little points. And it's a
Yeah.
very beautiful hand, long and smooth skin. The nails seem to kind of have an iridescence to them, and they put their hand out to you.
I try to act like I'm not nervous and shake confidently. Hello.
They shake. They seem a little surprised at how vigorously you shake and say, "It is a pleasure to meet you, young Master Reed.
Oh,
Is
I'm
there
not a
some-
master, but thank you.
Oh, I think you might underestimate yourself. Is there something I can do for you?"
um, no, um, no, I'm sorry, I got curious. I see you here all the time, and I was just wondering who you were.
Well, don't be shy.
Okay, well, my friend should be getting up soon. I'll leave you to your book.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, Master Reed.
It was good to meet you too. And if you ever want to speak to the big guy, he's one of the wizards. His name's Gaius, and the taller, skinnier guy that's Eldred.
Ah, the one who's suffered recently, I see.
Yeah, they both had real bad feathers and stuff too.
Oh, yes. The feathers.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Hope they didn't get into any of your stuff.
Oh, no, just they were under my seat and such, but I can live with that. That's not a problem.
Hey, quick question. Do you know where to get the best food close to here? I mean, if you're here so much, you must have to eat here, right?
Not here, but I understand the Dog's Bollocks has a very nice breakfast.
That's where we've been going. It's pretty close. It's not too far.
There's also, I believe, there's a pie man down one of the other side streets
Cool.
who has rather nice pies, from what I understand. There's another little cafe not too far. It's a little further than the Dog's Bollocks, but I've heard it's better from the people who've gone to both places.
You don't know the name of that one?
I'll think on it and get back to you.
Thank you so much. I'm a big
Oh.
fan of all kinds of food.
Oh, I've gathered that just from the little bits of your conversation I've overheard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mind you, I'm not trying to pry or eavesdrop, but you and your friends aren't exactly quiet either sometimes.
No. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's fine. Makes things interesting.
I raised my mug. I'll talk to you later.
You notice also from the time speaking to them when they've turned their head a couple times, it looks like there's something coming out of the top of their forehead and kind of disappearing into the hood. Probably about like that size on either side.
Like holding the hood up. kind of thing, you mean?
Maybe.
All right. If there's a table, I just go sit down, wait for
Okay.
somebody else to get up. Just sipping my coffee.
So I would say the next person to come down would be Vivalda. So Vivalda,
right.
you come down and you see Reed off to the side, sitting at a table, drinking what looks like a cocktail, and he has white foam on his upper lip.
Oh, good. You're all right. Hi.
Oh yeah, I'm okay. I'm glad you're up.
Yeah. Did anything strange happen last night?
Did you know your puke smells like mint?
It does?
It does, yeah. So
It-
last night, nothing too exciting happened last night. I don't think. Maybe we were making plans.
Oh, good. I look forward to hearing those. All right. I think I
Gaius
just-
and Trumpet and Eldred, they got the good details and Calandra, they got the good details on the plans.
Wonderful. Then I'll hear what they have to say later. I think I'm going to just walk around the building really quickly and perimeter check.
You want me to get you a coffee drink?
I think I'm good for now. I'll get food later.
All right,
Thank you.
I'll wait for the others. Sure.
She's gonna go outside and just kind of scope out the area.
Give me an investigation check with advantage, please.
Not bad. 14.
There are some people walking around here and there. You see some people with carts on their way, from the looks of it, possibly to the market, possibly from the market. You see some people walking, taking a morning stroll. You see some guards walking around, just kind of doing patrols. One of the things you notice about this particular district that is very different from the other districts you've been in, the alleyways and the doorways and such seem to be clear of vagrants. It seems to be there aren't people sleeping in the alleys or in doorways like there are at almost every other district you've been in. Some much more than others. This district also seems to be kept relatively clean. It's one of the only districts you've been in that seems to have trees and shrubbery as part of, lining a number of the streets. There are a number
Did you
of
say shrubbery? Sorry.
We are the halflings that say me. Matter of fact, Reed, there you go. The name of the cafe is the Ika Patang Cafe.
It just rolls right off the tongue.
Right.
Oh my god.
But yeah, Vivalda, you notice that it actually it reminds you actually a fair amount like certain streets in the Overlook. Not quite as nice and as expensive or as ritzy, but it's almost like an average person's version of the residential areas of the Overlook. But you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. You don't notice anything suspicious or peculiar.
Then I would go back inside. Any chance the hooded figure sitting inside? They are hooded, right?
Yep.
Could I just take a little bit of a peek towards them a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. Do I need to roll anything?
Well, I need you to tell me kind of what you mean by that.
I mean, I'm trying to, from a distance so that they don't really notice me staring, just kind of, look under their hood to see if I recognize any facial features from the other night.
Okay.
If I see Viv doing that, I kind of wave.
We'll get to you, Reed. Basically, their head is down seems to be a very deep cloak, and it's kind of a wide cloak. And they seem to be looking at a book and writing on some scrolls and in a journal. It's a pretty big table. They have papers and books laid out all over the place. Give me a perception check, please.
17.
best you will say is the best you notice is maybe the tip of a nose sticking out. That's about it. And I will
Okay.
tell you, it does not match up with the individual that I think you might be thinking about. It
Yeah.
is obvious that it doesn't.
Okay.
Okay.
She just kind of sighs a little bit and then will sit and join Reed wherever he may
Okay.
be.
Reed, you see Vivalda come over to you.
Did you see?
And as you're walking across Vivalda, Mary says, "Would you like something?"
Oh, I'm good for now. Thank you, though.
No problem. And goes back to wiping down the bar.
She's gonna clean a hole in that bar.
Honestly, good. I'm glad that they keep things so tidy around here. It's
Well,
nice.
they probably had to after the feathers.
Right, the feathers. Yeah.
But the
I see you're trying the coffee drink. How do you like it?
it's really strong. I'm just kind of sipping it.
It is.
So the guy I think you were trying to peek at, get a look at him. He's
Oh, I hope that wasn't noticeable.
no, I was watching you because you came in. But,
all right.
His name is Melissa, something like that. And he's
Oh.
green. He's like watery green. He's
Like
really
a
neat looking.
bluish,
I don't know what he
like a
is.
bluish green,
Yeah, like a bluish green.
like a teal.
I'm not sure. Not sure what he is, but I definitely don't think he's a human or even an elf. Are there green elves or blue elves? I don't know.
I haven't met any. I don't think so.
He's really nice. I talked to him.
Well, wonderful.
if you-
That's good. I know
Yeah.
that she's going to say this in a more hushed whisper. I know that I spoke with Eldred and about one of the books that he's reading. I don't know anything about it. I just know that apparently
I kind of asked him if he was a wizard, and he said he's like learning magic or something, or
Oh,
he's reading about magic.
I don't think I'll ever do magic. It's kind of scary. It's like watching what specifically like Butt Trumpet or Gaius can do with it. Like sometimes I'm just like, whoa, that's a lot.
I'm still hoping. I mean, I know Eldred is joking about it or something, but I hope someday he could make me fly because that would be really neat.
That would be cool. I
Yeah.
think that might be nice actually.
I mean, I got him
I
to
wonder
make
if
me
the
invisible.
did he? Wow, that's so cool.
Unfortunately, other wizards can see through it.
Well, that doesn't make very much sense.
Well, as long as you're not being sneaky around wizards, I guess it's okay. So.
Do you think that he could do a better job of making you invisible? Like maybe it's a type of thing where it's like, oh, maybe you're just a little bit see-through and people can still see you if they look really, really hard? Or do you think it's a type of thing where if he gets better at it, it's like, oh, where did they go? Or is it like camouflage?
I don't think it's. I mean, when he does it on himself, he just kind of totally disappears, right? Have you never saw him do it?
I don't recall.
Oh.
Perhaps I have. Perhaps he was and I just didn't know because I couldn't see him.
I wish if Gaius ever learns that spell, then we could all be like, they could use it on a bunch of us, and we would all be invisible.
How often do you think that they can do it? Do you think he might be in the room right now just listening to us?
I don't know. You mean Gaius or Eldred?
Either one, if Gaius can also make himself invisible.
If you've noticed, Eldred is not very sneaky when he's walking around. I feel like
I
I
have
can hear
noticed
his
that
footsteps.
actually.
I feel like I
You're
can hear his
right.
footsteps all the time.
Yeah.
Vivalda,
Yes.
at the table behind you, you kind of hear like wood scrape on the floor, and you hear, "Damn."
Wait. No, I think he actually might be sitting behind us.
And you hear, "I am not."
What?
And you look, and Eldred's standing behind Vivalda. Who are you calling not
Wow.
sneaky?
You got
That was
better. You
That
got
was really good.
better. couple times you've tried to sneak around and you're not very quiet.
In fact, that actually terrifies me because I was trying to be observant and looking around, and you just snuck past me. So that was really good, Eldred.
That
Well,
was
thank you.
really great. So did you hear everything we were talking about?
Just the part about me.
So can you make us like? Can you make more of us invisible? You made me invisible. You should make Viv invisible sometime too. We could be super sneaky.
I don't know. Viv seems pretty good at sneaking around.
Oh
I
yeah.
am pretty good at it.
I did hear you talk about flying,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and may I remind you, I think Gaius has it, unless Nikita had it before she left. But we have that feather, the black feather.
Does it let you
Oh.
fly? I didn't remember
Yeah.
that one. Could I like try it out if Gaius has it, or would it
You'd have
be
to
like,
ask him. I don't control the magic items in this group. I'm just here for the ride.
I mean, would we be like using up its magic if I was just trying it out?
Oh, I think so.
Ah,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
say
not
it was
permanent.
something special.
It gets used up if it's used too much.
Oh.
How much weight do you think it can carry? Like, if somebody were to use it, and then everybody were to like link arms, hold each other, how much
I
do you
don't
think they
know.
could take?
I don't know, but I would imagine like if everyone were to jump on Gaius and he had
Mhm.
the feather, like I don't know if the feather could handle it. Probably it might be able to, because you know what? Other than myself, the rest of you are pretty small. So if you all latched on to Gaius like barnacles, I don't know. Might be able to handle it. Gaius might feel a little weird
be
because he just
interesting.
feels weird about the weirdest things, but you know.
Because now I'm thinking, like, for perhaps our little, we could all just fly away.
That's a
And
possibility.
be invisible. We could be invisible and fly away. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Gotta keep my voice down. You know, we could be invisible and fly away.
this could work. I don't know what the original plan is, but we have a backup now.
Let Gaius know. He seems to be running the mission.
Oh, right.
He's good with plans.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Is he waking up soon, Eldred? Did you see him stirring?
He was out cold when I left. I got woken up because Reed was talking about going and getting breakfast. So
We could all go get breakfast together if you're all hungry.
let's go get breakfast.
Do we want
Okay.
to try the breakfast pizza place? We could get something to go and bring it back for the others if they're sleeping in longer.
Yeah. Do we know where that is? Is that close? I forget.
Yeah, we all went there yesterday morning. Yesterday morning? How long was I out, guys? Am I all right?
If you were asleep all day
It was just
yesterday.
yesterday morning, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, good. All
That,
right.
that was the Hairy Lemon. You know that's about a 2-hour walk from here, right?
It's a 2-hour walk. For some reason, I thought it was an hour. I must have been.
It was like an
Joking, having
hour and
fun.
a half from the Stone's Throw.
Oh, perhaps.
My new friend over there, Eldred. His name's Melissa. He
Blahidid?
Mhm.
That's a weird
Yep.
name. What?
just ask him his name.
We
if he
just don't
doesn't
want to
know.
call his name too much because he's sitting right there, and we don't want to just be like saying
Yeah.
hi every 5 seconds.
And you see Eldred looking over his shoulder and says, "You went and spoke to that person?
Reed did, not me. I just looked at him.
What were they like?"
He's got like blue-green skin,
Hmm.
and he's got like golden eyes. I don't know what he is, but he's really neat, and he's learning magic. So I told him that you and Gaius at some point might talk to him.
You volunteered us to talk to him?
Well, no, I just said he might want to talk to you guys if he had any questions. That's all.
Wow, at least there's no pressure.
Oh, you're good at magic, so you'll be fine.
Oh, go on. No, seriously, go on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you are. You're really good at magic. You turned me invisible. Someday you'll make me fly, which would be
I
nice.
certainly will.
I can't wait for that one. So, but he knows about a place called the Icky something Cafe. It's not far from the dog. These names, I can't say the dog place without giggling.
Why is that?
It's a funny name. You know why.
What?
Anyway, the dog's Bullocks has yes, it has. They have good breakfast. We've gotten food from there before,
Hmm.
Yes, I
and
do.
that's like the closest place I think. But he said there's a guy down one of the streets near here that sells pies,
Oh, I like pies.
Oh,
and not far from the
what kind of
dog's
pies?
Bullocks. He didn't really say.
All
I think we
sorts?
gotta find the guy.
Okay,
I think we'd have to find the guy. So
that might be nice. You said how far was it?
he said it was just a couple streets away.
Perhaps we could find a pie for breakfast.
Yes, breakfast pie.
That might be a nice
That'd be-
little treat.
All right, you want to go get some?
Eldred, would you join us?
For breakfast pie? Are you kidding me? I'm out the door before you are. If you know where it is.
Wonderful. And we can bring
We might
some
have-
back as a surprise for the others.
Sounds like
We
a
might have
good-
to ask somebody on the street, But
Well,
I'll
why
let
don't you
Mary
ask your
know
new
so
friend?
that,
so I was,
and I'll let
As-
Mary know
as-
that we're going to be heading out for pie in case guys at Calandra Butt Trumpet ask about us.
as we go to walk out the door, I will approach Malicious.
Vivalda, just for a second, if you could take off your headphones. Okay, so you approach Malician.
Malicious, sorry. I think me and my friends are going to look for the pie seller
Ah,
that you spoke about.
Yes.
Which street did you say you think he was? What?
so if you go out the door, go down about 3 streets, make a right, and go down 4 streets. He should be in a little square.
3 streets, make a right. 4 streets in a square.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And when we go
Enjoy.
out, do we go left? Do we go left or right?
To the right.
To the right. Got it. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Oh, and by the way, and I point to Eldred. That's Eldred. And I point to Viv. I say, that's Viv.
Ah.
Mhm.
Thank you. It's always good to have a name to match to a face.
We're heroes, by the way. So if you ever need anything, you could.
Oh, I
you could
have
let
no
us-
doubt.
Mhm.
You may want to let your elven friend know. I believe they have an admirer. And not the good kind. Just let them know.
Oh. Okay.
Enjoy
Okay.
your breakfast.
Thank you.
Coming.
Okay, so
Real
we'll
quick,
say
Paul.
what?
Real quick, I tell Mary that we're getting breakfast.
Okay. Gaius, Calandra, and Butt Trumpet, you all make your way down to the bar. Seems that you're the first 3 up.
Those lazy bones. Weird, because I was alone in my room when I woke up. Nah, whatever.
Oh boy, I hope Reed didn't wander off. Vivalda wasn't in my room either.
Yeah, maybe for a smoke or something.
Yeah.
Best pipe weed in the South Farthing.
Just out there, sick and tired of their shit.
Okay.
Not a morning person, I guess, huh?
You woke up and Toad was gone, by the way.
Anything else? Abscond with your gold, perhaps?
Left an earring
Or
on the
just your-
dresser.
Mary
Oh, good,
comes over and has one eye
Yes,
look
Mary.
at 2 of you
Oh,
and
that's
says,
a skill.
What? Excuse me? She says.
Hmm? Oh, no, you were about to say something. Sorry, I interrupted you.
I was going to say, can I get you a drink?
Oh, yes, please. Just some ale for me. The rest of our
I'm good.
compatriots, are they out
They
and about?
went out for breakfast, I believe.
Ah,
Okay.
okay. I was curious. Can you do like I know you mostly do alcoholic beverages, but do you do like boiled water for like tea and some stuff
I can boil
like that?
water.
Is that an option?
I can boil
Yes.
water.
I was could Gaius like takes out a packet. This is ginger root. If you could just boil it in there for like I guess 10, 20 minutes, please. Viv had a kind of a stomach thing yesterday, so I'm just trying to get them.
How
an old
about
remedy.
if I bring you a pot of boiling water and put it on a little trivet for you?
Oh, that's perfect. I didn't know what was more convenient for you.
This would be more convenient for me.
then I will do that then. Thank you.
No problem. And she disappears for a moment. Before she goes, she looks at you, Butt Trumpet, and you, Calandra, who are different size, and seems to be looking directly at both of you, and says, "Either of you want a drink? No.
Actually, do you have any of the juices that you make your cocktails with?
Yeah, but they're getting. I have a little bit of bulba fruit that I could spare.
Oh well, don't trouble yourself. Then just
It's-
some
It's
water
just
is
tough to
fine.
get stuff now, you know.
No, it's understandable. Don't worry.
Oh,
Yes?
sorry. And aside from the ale, also just one shot of. Do you have any whiskeys available?
Oh, hell yes.
Well, I wasn't sure. Availability was literally a thing we were just talking about. So
Yeah. No,
Yes,
I'm talking about perishables. I'm set on spirits.
understood.
This is Seven Rivers.
Something that it makes sense. I guess one of the like smoother, less harsh whiskeys.
You
Doesn't
got
need
it.
to be.
And she reaches up onto a shelf, pulls it down, pours about 2 fingers in a tumbler, puts that over to you. All goes over, reaches underneath something, pours something into another tumbler, puts it in front of you, Butt Trumpet, and says, "I'll get your water started." And goes into the back.
Thank you. And how's everyone feeling today? You're going to be ready for tonight? Hmm?
For sure. I will need to talk to everybody about something that's
Okay.
been going on for the last couple of nights. It's nothing bad. I
Oh,
just
okay.
don't want to withhold
Thank
any
Marcus.
information.
That is also good. That actually brings up a good point that I was, and in a quieter voice that doesn't carry because I have to apparently stipulate that sometimes when I talk. Here's the thing. The one thing I want to do is because remember the last time we went on a mission, we literally got stabbed in the back. Well, I did. I'm going before we go into the mission. Zone of truth, everyone, to make sure they are who they say they are, and they're not going to try and kill one of us or all of us.
That is fair and unfortunately
That's
necessary.
fair. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. I just throw it out that you two are cool with that. I mean, I plan on subjecting myself to the spell, so it'll be all
Yeah.
copacetic.
I'm
And
not
then,
a different shade of blue. I've got nothing to hide. Like it, I'm not evil, but trumpet.
Gotcha.
Evil means
Well,
like a
like I
shade
said-
darker.
There's no evil
well-
Calandra, but I'm cool either way.
Well, yeah, it's just- you're the one I'm. Quiet, you. You're getting breakfast.
Enjoy your wieners.
Pies this time.
It's like how you talk with wieners
They
in your
want-
mouth.
They went to the other side of the spectrum.
Okay,
They're
wait a
getting
minute. You
pies.
don't know any of this. You just got told they went to breakfast.
So you're gonna zone of truth, everybody, and make sure no one's being deceitful. That's what we're getting at.
Yep.
Nice. Looking
Correct.
forward to it.
The one thing I wanted to do is get something ready for doing some herbal remedy stuff, I assume, for the teammate who might still be under the weather.
So you walk out of the Green Hag, and Eldred's out there ahead of you.
Oh, he really wants
Yeah.
these pies. Oh, my. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so we got to go 3 streets this way, and I point to the right, and I start walking that way, and I say, and then we make a right, and we go 4 more streets. He said the pie vendor should be there.
You go down 3 streets, and there's a cross street. You make a
As
right.
as we're walking, Viv. So the guy in the hood,
Right.
he his name's Melissa. I'm gonna mess it up.
Yes,
again.
you told me something like
Melissa.
malicious, right?
Malicious. He
Malicious. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why, but when we go back, you might want to talk to him. He said that my elven friend has an admirer, and not in a good way.
Your elven friend?
Yeah, he was definitely meaning you. So I don't know what he saw. I don't know what he was talking about, but
All right.
probably while we're walking here too, we should probably keep an eye out just in case there's like an assassin after you for some reason or something.
Yeah. Reed, when I was at the Duck last night, I had a drink and I saw a man also in a hood, and that's why I was looking at him, because I was, oh, another hooded, magical seeming person. Um, except this man, half his nose seemed to be missing. I don't know, I just had this strange feeling after I saw him say something and move his hands, and then after that it's kind of foggy and a blur. Maybe it was something in the drink or something, but I just felt like I was being followed on the way home, and well, not home, to the Green Hag.
You think he put a
But
spell on you?
I don't know. I don't think, maybe, but I don't. It didn't. I'm not very familiar with how that, but I don't think.
El-
I think
Eldred,
it might have
can
been.
you tell? Can you tell if she's got a spell on her?
He says a few things and makes some very minor hand gestures, and you don't seem to have any effects that are outwardly right now.
I don't know, but
What
it
made you think
definitely
it
creeped me
was?
out.
What made you think it was like a spell or something?
It was just after I saw him mutter something and then move his hands in a way that kind of reminded me of how you and Gaius and, you know, the people I've seen perform magic sometimes act.
Was he
Um,
looking at you when he did it?
I couldn't tell because of his hood, but I
You're
did actually get a glance of his eyes, so perhaps he was. His eyes were kind of like a yellowish color.
it was like a brownish yellow, kind of mostly yellow, but kind of a sickly yellow. And you
Yeah, a
were very
sickly.
sure he had been staring at you for a
Okay,
while.
gotcha.
He
Yeah,
did.
no, he
Did he
actually.
have
Now that I
like?
think about it, he was staring. He was staring, and just remembered.
And like I said, his hood was kind of old and burlap and uh, not very nice at all. Matter of fact, looked very much like a beggar's hood. Whereas when you were staring at Militia trying to look inside the hood, that was a
Hmm.
very nice cloak they were wearing. Definitely wasn't them.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, his cloak was different. It was definitely a lot more tattered and worn out and brownish. And his eyes definitely not gold, Militians either. It was like this sickly yellow brown color. But
Oh.
yeah, he was staring at me now that I think about it.
You saw his nose. Was he human?
Couldn't tell. His skin was like parchment. It didn't. If he was human, it wasn't a healthy human.
Okay. I make a point to really keep an eye out for anyone who might look like that.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you give me a perception check there, Reed?
Yeah. What I get? 10? 10.
As you're walking along, you look up ahead, and a couple blocks ahead, up to the one side, just partially out of view,
Mm-hmm.
you see a man with a cart with smoke coming out of it. That's obviously to the side of. You're coming to the square.
Ah. Why point that out? Look, I bet that's the pie cart.
Oh, good. I could use one.
Eldred kind of runs ahead.
Oh, and there he goes.
Oh. We'll catch up to him.
Sarah.
You
I think
go.
Eldrid's
and
more hungry than me for once.
Did he eat last night?
I didn't pay attention to what he ate. I
He
don't know.
must just love pie.
So
I hope they have blueberry.
you go up there, and as you get into the square, you realize it's a cart with some tables around it, and there are a number of pies laid out. But there's also on the cart seems to be the equivalent of a little wood fire oven, and you can see inside there are some dishes, like pie dishes, and there are a couple pies in there cooking, and there is a little rack, a couple racks to the side of it with pies that you can smell are cooling on the racks, and they smell Really, really good. I mean, you actually smell something that you're not 100% sure, but you think might be bacon in from that direction there, Reed.
Bacon in a pie?
And you see Eldred just kind of looking at all of them, and his mouth's open, and it's like he just keeps going, and he's asking
Don't draw
about
on the
all
pies,
these different
Eldred.
ones.
I think Eldred might be under a spell from the pies.
No.
So
All right,
you
let's
notice
choose.
you notice there
couple.
are individual pies and bigger
Oh.
pies. And there's a lot of different types, it seems. There's little labels on different sections of the tables.
Ooh,
I think if we get
what kind we got?
perhaps maybe 3 or 4 pies, and then we could try a little bit of each together.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that sounds like
We
enough?
could even bring Marge and Militia some. Oh, I'm sorry,
From the
Mary.
green hat?
Mary. Yes.
Okay, I was like, oh, it might be a while before we can get to the duck, but
I'm sorry, Marge is at the duck. Yes.
yes. Not sure if I should go back there so soon either. We'll see.
Hmm.
But yes, for Mary, I think she would very much like. What do you think her would be? Like her favorite
What
flavor?
I'm sorry. Let's see what they got. I don't know.
All right. We look at the options.
Okay. You hear from the discussion with Eldred. There are a number of different fruit pies. There's cherry. There's apple. There's peach. There's blueberry. There's bulba fruit with lime. There's cranberry, orange, cherry. There's a number
gosh,
of
it's
different
everything.
fruit pies. There are a number of meat pies as well,
Ooh.
but they're just kind of listed as meat pies. There's a couple that are listed as pork pies, but the meat pies are just listed as meat pies. Seven Rivers strong meat, Seven Rivers strong meat and mushroom, and then there's breakfast pies, which seem to be egg, cheese, and sausage. Seems to be the most popular. There's egg, cheese, and various bacons, it says. And then there's just egg, and there's just egg and cheese. There's also egg, cheese, and meatball. There's egg, cheese, sausage, and peppers.
How many people are running this cart?
One guy.
One
What?
guy. Wow.
He's got a bunch of them are laid out. And it's like
Yeah.
the fruit pies are on 2 tables. And then he has the oven on the cart with a bunch of pies cooling in front of that, and a table to the other side with a bunch of pies cooling there as well. And notice there's a line.
I'll hop in line right now. Eldred and Reed, do you want to decide on pies? Maybe like 2 fruit, 1 meat, 1 breakfast, something like that. And I'll save our spot.
Okay.
I say to Eldred, I got a little bit of coin, so I don't know how much they are. But
So do you know what you want to order?
yeah, we're gonna definitely gotta get Blu-ray.
Well, also,
then,
are you getting individual pies or the full size pie?
I think we'll get full size to bring back.
Okay.
So
One blueberry.
And Vivalda, did you have a specific one you wanted? We'll probably get one of the
An
generic.
apple pie sounds wonderful.
Apple.
Which one?
Maybe an apple pie.
Okay.
You said blueberry. Should we
The
do
breakfast
the
with
pork
sausage.
pie?
And a pork pie, sure.
Yeah, and then
That
of
sounds
course the
good.
breakfast one with the various bacons, of course.
Okay.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Sound good, Eldred?
Sure.
Wonderful.
All of them sound delicious. I love pie.
You should get one of the
Perfect.
individual ones to eat along the way. I think I'm gonna do that too.
All right, you get the other ones. I'll get the individuals. What do you want there, Reed? I'm assuming the bacon one again.
I do want that. Yes. Yes,
Okay.
please.
And Miss Vivalda, what would you like for an individual
Oh,
for the
I-
walk back?
Thank you for offering, Eldred. I'll take a peach one. I think that sounds delightful.
Okay. So each of you get your pies. Reed, mark off 4 gold pieces, please.
Oh, I was gonna help pay.
Okay, we'll go 2 and 2.
Do you want to mark 2 and I'll mark 2?
That's all the gold that guys gave me. So, but that's okay.
It's just the 2?
Well, yeah, I got a bunch of copper and stuff too, but I'll just hold on to that. So.
Good. Oh, I only had 2 gold as well. We really need to ask Gareth for money.
you notice that ever since the town has been shut down, prices seem to have gone up. Pause in the conversation, and you see Reed, Vivalda, and Eldred walk in with their hands full.
We got pies!
Yay!
That's a lot.
Yay!
Those are big.
Yeah,
Yes.
they have 4 pies that they set on the bar. And Mary says, I will get
What would you
some
like?
plates and some silverware.
Grab one for yourself
thank you,
as well,
Mary.
Mary.
Oh, thank you.
Aww.
And she comes back and lays down a stack of plates and a bunch of forks and also a large carving knife. And hands out everybody some napkins, and there's also some coasters and such just around just
Oh,
for
wow.
whatever.
Coasters.
Fancy.
Fancy. We got coasters.
I know.
Viv
you
helps
tell
cut
her.
up the pies and serve them to everybody, whichever flavor they want.
Well,
We
you better
have,
tell them what you have.
Yes. We have apple, blueberry, pork, and a breakfast pie. It has eggs and bacon in it, and I believe some sausage. Was there anything else in it, Reed? Do you remember?
I think they said cheese.
I would love some blueberry.
I knew you'd like that
I
one.
guess I'll
I picked
take
that one.
I'll take the breakfast one, please. Thank you. Something savory first thing. And Viv, I have made you something. How is your stomach feeling from yesterday?
I'm feeling better this morning. Definitely more normal, which is good.
Well, I made some tea for you if you need it. It's got some
Thank you,
ginger,
guys.
lemon, honey. I did sprinkle just a little bit of cayenne pepper in there. And then
Ooh,
what did you what exactly were you drinking yesterday that made that kind of happen? Because sometimes it's hair of the dog kind of thing is also a potential option. Not actually hairs from a dog.
I had an ale, and there
One
might
ale?
have been other. Was there other drinks? I think there was maybe another drink. I honestly don't really remember. But let's get our pies, and I'll talk about this further. She goes back to
Gaius
cutting the
finishes
pies.
mixing the tea, and just Gaius does almost the entire shot of whiskey, and there's just like a little bit left, and then like dumps it in the whole pot and just stirs around. And he's like, and there you go.
Yeah, over breakfast we got to talk about some stuff.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Mm-hmm. But first, I'm gonna I go back to the bar and I'll cut a piece of the pie and I'll ask Mary to bring it to Militia.
She goes, they'll appreciate that. Which one do you?
Everybody gets pie.
The breakfast. It's still breakfasty time, right?
Okay, yes.
It's
Yes,
a
breakfast.
wonderful day for pie.
And then we bust out into song over our
Right.
pies.
The hell was that?
We just
You-
got a
you
song
all-
in our hearts.
Butt trumpet
You
and,
also-
and Vivalda have an arm around each other and are rocking and singing.
So you see Reed cut a piece of pie and
We are
slide it
cursed.
over by Mary, and then Mary takes it over to the mysterious figure at the window. My new buddy.
Oh,
Oh, making
Mr.
Okay.
friends.
Resolved.
Go read. I'm proud.
Look at you making friends.
Making
His
friends.
name's Militia.
Interesting.
He's trying to learn magic or something, but he's got green blue skin and gold eyes.
Write that down.
He's not human or elf. Or
Okay.
anything else that I know of.
Hey, yeah, Reed. If they seem to be trying to keep that on the hidden side, so definitely we gotta right now we're fine, but definitely be careful bringing it up because I don't think I've seen them without their hood up, and we are awful at discretion, just the worst,
Oh yeah, big time.
just terrible at it. And this is an active thing we all have to try to work on.
I think we're better than our evil selves, though.
Maybe
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
We're the good people. Of course, we're better.
That's true. I
Yeah.
mean, evil you, Viz, kind of kept under wraps for a very long time. Only kind of went for the big flourish toward the end.
But did she ever wear eyeliner? Like, I remember they all wore eyeliner or something.
I don't
Gaius, you
actually
were the
remember
most up
that.
close. Do you remember?
What?
I was just shocked that their guy didn't talk at all. Almost, it was unusual. Just
Absolutely.
screamed duplicity.
But
Just
anyway,
didn't
this
feel
pie
it.
is delightful.
It was mostly all black thing going on as Gaius gestures at his like
Yeah.
thieving gear that's now all black. He's like, "Ooh,
Anyway, this
As
pie
I-
is
as
so
I take-
good.
Yep.
It is. It's so good. I take a bite and I look over at Calandra. Is Toad gone? I really don't want to have him grab our
Toad's
pie.
gone.
And now calling him Dad.
you don't want him sticking his fingers in your pie there, Reed? All right."
Oh no!
Oh, I love
Toad
that.
was
He laughed so hard he froze.
Yeah, that is perfect.
Oh, wait,
That's great.
he's coming back.
Toad was here.
Well, we kind of started to plan out the evening and the logistics.
Yeah.
All
Steph.
right, yeah.
Yeah, we kind of had to deviate from our original idea of the stone's throw because there were kind of guards out there.
Mm.
Yeah,
Is
The bad
we
guys.
kind of.
the Harry Lemon still the plan?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh yeah, no, we'll definitely go out for a few drinks there later today.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Just drinks.
Later.
The Harry
Oh,
Lemon.
okay. Wonderful. All right.
Mhm.
Viv, you should
Yes.
you should let Gaius and Butt Trumpet and Calandra know.
Yeah.
Real quick,
So-
guys, did you let Vivalda know why there were guards there?
Oh well,
That was
they
just
kind of
confusing.
noticed that somebody got in there,
Oh,
and
Another reason we
was-
have bad discretion.
well, it was all. Well, we kind of went in there and cleaned up and stuff. So if they walked in there, they would have obviously known that part at least. But also the fact that it's going to be sold in the near future, put up for auction. So, which is why we're kind of being like, today's the day kind of thing.
right.
Which, by the way,
That
tonight's the
makes sense.
night. So you need to do any prep. Sharpen a sword,
My
fletch some
my armor, I
arrows.
think, is pretty dark.
Don't
I
worry,
think
they
I'm
brought
right on
scarves
supplies.
to cover,
It's good.
trying to be less.
So,
Ups.
Viv, what happened?
So I went to go look for Reed yesterday, and when I didn't see him here, I went back to the dock to find you guys, but I must have missed you all. And while I was there, Marge gave me an ale, and it was busy, and she said that she would check around. And as I was waiting, I saw this figure towards the back, and he was wearing this really dirty, tattered hood, and his skin was like parchment. He had these yellow brownish eyes that were just staring at me, and I saw him do something and do something with his hands, and it felt really, really sick, and I couldn't see what he did after that because somebody stood in front of him, and I couldn't see him anymore after that. And I managed to make my way back, but it's all fuzzy, and I don't really remember everything. I do remember feeling like I was being followed. I did a perimeter check the moment I woke up, and I looked around, and I didn't see anybody suspicious, but Reed has some information from his new friend as well that I think probably concerns this.
Yeah.
What did he tell you again?
Malician over there told me that that you had a secret admirer, and not in a good way. So, and he kind of implied that it was like somebody out to get you, that he noticed somehow. So, I don't know if you want to talk to him or I could talk to him. See what he knows.
I could. Perhaps.
Interesting.
But he did warn us, so he's a good guy.
One thing I can try and do. So you may have been poisoned of one kind or another, but it looks like there might have been some kind of magic involved as well. You're still feeling good, but do you mind if I do see if there's any magic still upon you, Liv?
Eldred
Check
did
to see.
something to check. Eldred checked me
Oh, did you do
already,
that,
and he
Eldred?
said that he couldn't. Yeah, he couldn't find any traces.
Well, the other thing I could do is if there's any magic on you to dispel it, but if Eldred says you're good, then you're good. I could just check to see if it was some kind of affected by like some kind of poison or something as well, and
Oh,
just
yeah. If,
check
if
up.
you, I don't know.
I am
What do you
oddly
need
enough
to
a
do
medical
that?
professional. In game or out of game or out of chat, do a medicine check just to determine what kind of effects that Viv has been subjected to see if it was potentially poisoning of some form or another. Just a normal checkup, I whack your below the knee with this little
Also,
thing, check
Reed
your
mentioned there was a
glands.
bucket of my vomit.
Oh, of your yes, I could. They were kind of just throwing it out the window, so there might be
Oh, traces?
something I could collect off the street.
I don't want to suggest that to you,
Oh,
but
nope. It's definitely a thing
Might
I should
be
at
the only
least
way to
attempt.
know what truly happened. This makes
Well,
a
you know
lot
what?
more sense.
You
There
have to
might be
collect money.
traces in the bucket. Well, there might still be traces in the bucket unless somebody did anyone wash it out.
Not
Good.
that I'm
It doesn't
aware of.
sound like it. Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
too small to lift it. That would have been horrible for me.
yes, that would have been. Oh, all right. Yeah, because you would have went for a
Anyway,
swim potentially.
anyway,
Um,
this enchantment makes way more sense.
mhm.
Viv isn't Anyway, Viv
I would
is
like
not the type
to do a
to
medicine
do
check
this.
on butt
Right? You
trumpet
say, oh
first.
no, they got you.
See if I'm having a stroke, maybe?
Just oh, the left side of your face is. Oh no.
Blink for me. Blink. Blink, damn
Oh,
it.
God bless. Don't blink.
because I believe that there's something. There weren't a lot of magic I come from, but I do know that something about us not being able to really be charmed in some way. So it's I don't know what it could be, and I'm wondering if it is some form of poison. So I think if we check
Well,
the vomit, that would be.
here's the thing. There are certain types of necromantic spells that can make a person ill. And if they did this to make you want to go home because they wanted to follow you and see where you were staying, this is probably what they did. Well, at the very least, it doesn't look like there's anything ongoing. If there were, I could try dispelling it, and it's worked on some stuff. Like Feathers over here was just, off. So,
Is that my new nickname? Says Eldred.
well, you did seem more comfortable with it than not.
Yeah, but I mean, I've kind of grown used to my name. You all of a sudden decided to call me Feathers. Just seems.
Oh, I meant like I was pointing towards you and the fact that we defeathered you with the spell.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I
You got
misunderstood.
instead of getting plucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, believe me, you had the better day. I guess I'll go inspect the puke bucket.
I'll go with you. I feel bad.
That's okay.
Yeah. Thank you for the tea. It's wonderful.
Oh, good. Yeah, you know what? I made extra because I think I might be needing it after this.
I think so too. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We need to cleanse the senses. And Gaius leads the way upstairs.
Okay, and what are you doing
Okay.
exactly, Gaius?
So I'm going to attempt a medicine check to see if there's any traces of if there was a poison introduced through ingestion, basically. So I'm assuming it would have come up if he would recognize that kind of thing. So
Okay.
my argument is medicine.
Okay, roll me a medicine check, please.
Go, dice, go. A 24. Haha. He goes in there, scrapes the side of the bucket. He's like, ugh. Puts it on like a little piece of like wood, kind of like holds it up.
Cracker.
A little bit of pie crust. What's wrong with you? Yeah, no. Puts it on like a little puts it in like the wood bowl where he uses to do some like medicinal stuff in, and then kind of like sprinkles in some different like powders and stuff to see if it has any chemical reaction to poisons and whatnot.
Okay.
Sprinkles some powders and pours a little bit of liquid in there, stirs it around, waits to see if there's fizzing or if a cloud shaped like a skull comes up here, like wafting out, like it's a cartoon. Yeah. Oh dear. Was there poison there? Oh no, that's a good sign.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine, I swear. Also, don't zone of truth me right now.
So, guys, what you find here is the remnants in the bucket are exceedingly acidic. And there's a certain amount of it that you assume is stomach acid.
Mm-hmm.
But there's more than just, you assume more than just what stomach acid would be. You also, from some of the reactions to some of the things that you're trying,
Yeah.
the reactions are quite odd. And from some previous experience, you have a feeling that might be magical in nature that caused some of this stuff.
So more alchemical than
Yeah.
necessarily just pure magic. Okay.
Right. Is there any other
Yeah, no, well, first I want to detect if it was something potentially that was ingested or if it was just a spell, which I kind of did, or which it seems like it.
Here's the thing. You don't get the feeling that it was something that was ingested.
It was something was done to her that did cause a potential magical...
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, yeah, that's... So it was definitely a spell of some type. With that roll that I did, is it a spell that, like, you know, I might know, like a curse spell, or
I would say for
poison?
that you would need to use magic.
Because I'm experimenting and these are rituals, like I'll use detect magic and then detect evil and good.
Okay.
So I'll do the one. This is just taking up some extra time, is all.
Not a
I'm
problem.
burning the spell slots. Yeah.
Okay. It takes you a little while to do these things, as you well know. But what you do come across is it is definitely magical in nature. There's still very faint remnants of magic still in your samples.
Yes.
And they're fading fast, but they're still there.
Gotcha.
And they seem to be a dark magic, probably on the evil side, but definitely dark.
Well, this isn't good. So I think that's about the gamut of testing that I can accomplish on this.
Okay, and I'm going to say from all of your tests, and because you rolled remarkably, the focus of whatever was done, the focus was not the stomach. The focus was not that, it was something else in the body entirely. Which you're thinking maybe the mind, maybe something else, but it definitely wasn't an abdominal attack.
Yeah, so the nausea and everything was just the side effect of the greater.
Exactly.
Gaius puts away his at-home chemistry set, and then like cleans everything and kind of like puts it back in the bucket. Like, oh, okay,
So-
just gonna dump that out the window.
Is it good?
Yeah, we get a little. Well, no, but you're good now.
Okay.
But let's go down
right.
so I don't have to repeat myself.
You
All right.
guys also, when you poured it out the window, you heard the splash outside and everything. And even when the splash was done, you heard a little bit of...
I look out the window. I'm like, oh, Yeah, you had a higher than normal. Your pH level in your stomach was a little off.
It's supposed to make that sound?
Not at all. No.
Oh, right.
You're
That's
good now.
cool. That's great.
Hey,
Yeah, right.
how's
Okay.
that tea feeling? Yeah, good. Drink more of the tea.
Tea is great. I will drink all of
Yep.
this tea. Thank you.
Yep. Careful. Oh, all right.
I'm
Okay,
going
yep,
so.
that's good.
I go so. It was hot. Still hot. It's good. It's good. Thank
Yep.
you.
It's
Let's
just
go
right off
talk
the
to the
burner.
others. All right. Beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well, everyone, now that we're back downstairs, and I'll be talking about this in a voice that won't carry across the room.
Wait,
So
we're still
Viv-
eating pie. We're still eating pie, should we not?
40 minutes later. Sorry, we were
Oh,
up
yeah.
there for a bit.
Yeah. Oh.
I would
You
imagine
did get a
Reed's
lot of
probably
pie.
still eating pie.
Still eating pie, yeah.
And
Really
Eldred
take his
definitely
time
is still
savoring
eating
it.
pie. What was
And
that,
everyone
Buckthumb?
else is just sitting there slack-jawed watching him.
Reed, did you ever clean your pocket?
From what?
Never mind. Don't put it in your pocket.
So Viv was magically attacked with dark magic.
What?
That's just
That's great.
seemed. I found trace dark magic in the abundant stomach acids that were left in the bucket. And they had a hint of dark magic that might have been with. It wasn't targeted at like the stomach, though. It was probably more going after the mind, and the nausea and everything was kind of a side effect of whatever was done to you, Viv.
So it was minty mind magic?
I think
Eldred
that's
says-
just the smell of pills.
Exactly. Minty mind magic is the evilest magic out there. That's a surefire sign.
Oh, Marcus, I wish I was a wizard so I could refute him. So she was assaulted with some kind of potential. Viv, what exactly did your mind feel like? You said you couldn't remember. It was
Yeah.
it like being drunk?
It was different. It was a lot more impairing. It felt fuzzy and cloudy, and I felt like my stomach was twisting as well. I just felt very, very sick.
Well, I know
I'm
some dark magics, like, for example, there's a spell like Bestow Curse, which can have some of those effects. Might have been what happened because you're sure your people natively aren't as affected by like charm spells. So if
It's not my forte. I'd have to talk to another elf who maybe specializes in magic. It's been a while.
From what I've read, it sounds right, but we can look into that later. But I mean, if I think somebody tried to curse you, or I should say, they cursed you, and then it ran its course.
Do you think so? You think it's over?
Well, we haven't detected any magic on you, so there's that.
Right. But is it like a
the other
curse,
thing-
like in the Tales, like where maybe it is there and then maybe it resurfaces on like a certain birthday or something?
Maybe.
Birthday curse.
Wonderful.
Excellent birthday curse. Well, here's the thing. That, like I said, if it's a curse, I'm just using that as an example because it. I kind of have the ability to remove them and cause them. So, I could potentially just cast Remove Curse on you to see if. But you're not feeling anything, right? There's no.
I'm not
effects.
feeling anything. So if we're planning on getting drinks at the Harry Lemon later, maybe perhaps we shouldn't do it today. But maybe I'll let you know how I'm feeling, and if I feel sick again, I will immediately let you know.
Yes. Oh, other thing I brought up with some of the party members that you guys were out getting pies. Before we go out on the operation, I was thinking I could do Zone of Truth on everyone. That way, in case somebody got swapped out or something, and we were unaware of the fact, we can, we are who we say we are, They aren't trying to kill us. They aren't trying to subvert the mission, that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
I plan on subjecting myself to it as well. So everyone's just a quick little circle of mistrust because of the backstabbing the last time,
Or the front stabbing.
or the
Side
front stab. It
stabbing,
was
or-
well,
Yeah,
yes.
Stabbing.
Side
I
stabbing.
mostly got stabbed. I definitely got stabbed in the back in the kidney, and that's a Dickens when it regrows. Let me tell you.
I've done that to people before. That's a good shot.
You've had them regrow their. Oh, you've stabbed them in the kidney. Okay.
That's a good place to hit them.
Oh yes, it's so excruciating that you don't make noise as you die slowly.
Yeah, when I got that one guy that was at the stove and I came up behind him, okay, that's right where I got him.
I thought you pan fried his face.
Oh, I did that.
Is that not pan? Well, which one did you do first? You think about it for a second, and you seem like you're deep in thought.
You definitely stumped him, says Eldred.
Yeah, well, he might just be trying to remember the order of operation. So, did you pan fry him first, or did you stab him in the kidney first? Because both sound awful.
I tried to do it at the same time. I think his head might have hit the grill first.
Was
It's
there
a lot
butter and
harder
garlic involved?
I did smell a lot of it in the kitchen. It smelled really good in there before
You fried a person,
yeah.
cooking people.
Well, not. I mean, he didn't really cook. It was just a big burn.
It was a sear.
Understand? You want to lock in the juices. God, this took a weird turn. The hell were we talking about? Oh yeah,
Well,
Viv is fine.
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Mostly.
Um,
Am I back?
so
Yep.
if everybody, if it's not too much trouble, if you could just watch for some creepy guy with a gross tattered hood and yellow eyes and half a nose and parchment-like skin, it'd be helpful.
That could be anyone,
Um,
says Eldred.
Whoa, that's the physical description of this guy.
Mm.
Yeah.
He sounds undead.
Oh,
Not alive. This is totally worse.
now that you think about it, yeah. Now that makes a lot
Specifically
more
Yeah,
sense.
like in
right?
a haunted opera house. Wow,
Anyway.
that
Just be on the lookout.
stopped everything. Yeah, look
I
out.
got it.
And then,
Will do.
are we planning on Zone of Truth when Toad is there? And are we bringing
Mhm.
anybody else on this little drinking?
So we
thing?
should have one more friend joining us once we go downstairs.
And Kalandra,
We can do it.
Toad said he'd meet you at the Harry Lemon.
Before we meet everybody, I'd like to tell you guys something that's been going on.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys remember that doll that we took from
From
Biotree?
Oh, from the thing that's actually we're in the place that's named. Oh, why did I not put that together? Oh crap, Mary.
wait, what did you
Are
put
we-
together? What happened?
Doll.
We fought a hag, and now we're in a building called the Green Hag.
Is that bad?
And guys just kind of looks over at Mary, like side-eyed, like, I'm probably just being paranoid. Continue.
The doll has been talking to me at night.
Oh, what?
So
I mean, do tell.
How? When I'm in the room, asleep,
Oh.
yeah.
in a trance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So then, like, just in your head, like telepathically.
Actually, off the top question, has it been out loud to me?
It seems like it is.
That's what I thought. Okay. No, it seems like actually able to talk. I have tried to figure out whether it was transformed into a doll or if it was once a person, but it does not seem to be. It
how
only
did this
seems
not
to.
wake me up?
I have
Really?
no idea. I'd love to
And
be
why
aware
didn't
of
you
how that's
wake me
possible.
up?
It wasn't sure whether it wanted me to say anything, and frankly, given how easily I have
see.
pissed off creatures when I haven't followed instructions, I really didn't want to run that
Right.
risk this time.
That's understandable. All right. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure. Okay.
trust me, I've been sitting on this for a while and I've wanted to talk about it. But,
How long?
a couple nights, couple days.
I mean, yeah, it's been a bit. Enjoy your good job on self restraint, I
Yeah,
guess.
trust me, that's been difficult. It doesn't remember ever being human. It remembers people finding out about it and being upset. Doesn't know whether it's a memory or a dream, but it started to wonder whether it would want to be human.
Ooh,
The thing is,
okay.
the thing is, the doll has not tried to get anything out of me or try to make me do anything, put any thoughts in my head or anything. It says it wants to protect me, that it trusts me with everything, that it wouldn't want anything to happen to me, and I
Does
don't
it
really know
does it
what.
move? Can
No,
it move?
I just hear it talking to me. I
Hmm.
actually was curious, Eldred, are you aware of any magic that turns things into people?
Like Gaius was talking a little while ago, there are some very, very high level spells that can bring about curses. Like
Oof.
the low level curses things called means that you might get pimples
Yeah.
periodically or stuff like that.
Oh.
But some of the really high level curse spells, that's some pretty serious stuff.
I figured, and it was asking me, how would that happen? How would I go about being a person? And I said, well, first, make sure that that's something you'd actually want because it's a lot of responsibility to be a person. And I also said it would take a lot of power and a lot of probably serious magic if you weren't already a person to begin with. And at first, it said, oh, like you? And I said, well, I don't really know what I'm doing. I studied under people who were powerful, but it would take a lot more power than what I have. And they just thought, interesting.
They're not
Did
thinking like a sacrifice and taking your body. Not that or anything, but
ooh,
I don't know.
Oh,
What?
oh,
I don't know.
Zach?
right.
That's just kind of. I'm like scared now that I know that I potentially have a curse, and now I'm thinking if a doll is cursed and this doll. Well, they said they want to be human, so maybe you're safe. I don't know why specifically a human they want to be. No offense, guys in Eldred. Just that I.
What the hell? I'll
Get
have you
little
know,
Miss
I could
Elf-like.
potentially live for. Yeah, we kind of. It's not great. Won't lie. There have been some ups and downs.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure. That I'm just wondering why specifically a human. Like, did they know a human that they really
Did they say
wanted
they
to?
wanted to be
Like,
human, Butt Trumpet?
Well, like a person. They
oh, I
said a
see.
person, but they've also referred to me as a person.
I'm a little bit nervous for you.
Yeah, so am I.
hmm.
Just a little bit.
Okay. Should
Did it give you a name? Does it have a name?
Not really, just pretty much said I can call them whatever I want, and I've just been kind of saying Dolly.
That's
Did they
technically a name.
do they
Yep.
remember? Do they remember Bile Jane?
Yep, they just remember they don't really remember anything before her.
Well, either they were a person, and then Bottle Jane does what Bottle Jane does, and ripped the essence and soul out of them and shoved it into a doll, and that could have maybe damaged their memory some. Or um, they just decided to awaken a doll and give it sentience, which is also kind of messed up, but in a different way.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure it out, but they're very limited in what their memory is. They don't
do they?
remember being anything before being with Vile Jane.
Do they only talk to you at night? And if so, like around what time and how long?
Not for very long, just for a few minutes at a time. Late at night, like long after everyone's already been asleep, probably in the wee hours.
And does it wake you up to talk to you then?
Sometimes it asks me if I'm awake.
Okay. All right. Well, this is good that we know this.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. Okay, well, it hasn't tried to possess anyone as far as we're aware. That's good.
Yep.
I think this is something we're going to have to explore later.
Yep, we're gonna have to put it in this. Well, that might be insensitive because it's a doll, but still.
I'm going to put that in the to-do box with some other stuff.
Sounds good. All right.
Just, food for thought.
What shall we do before we go to the Harry Levin tonight? Anything to do?
Just prep your stuff. Make sure you have some some food in your stomach. Drink some hydrate.
Right.
Don't get cursed. You know what? Everyone just stay in the
I'll
house.
stay
Nobody
here.
leave.
Yeah, I'll stay here.
Nobody leave. Nobody wander. Buddy system.
Do you think I should talk to Malicent?
Oh yeah, maybe we should go over together and see what he knows about this person that might be following you or after you.
It'd be weird if we all went. So I
Maybe just me
think
and
I'll.
Reed?
Yeah,
Might be a good
I don't want to
idea,
be
Sis
walk over like a gang. Hey, what do you know about this dude?
To grab him by the
Right.
collar. What do you know?
No.
What do you
My
know?
friend, don't do it.
Yes, I would love to talk to him.
It's okay if I go with you?
Of course. Yes, please.
Okay.
Elder goes,
I'll
well, I'm going to
introduce
go
you.
up to my room then.
Nico, can you use the spell and clean up all the pie on me?
Sure, Reed. You
Your
just want me
cleaning
to
stuff.
clean up the crumbs and the stains, huh? That's
Please?
what all my years of study have come to, I see.
Do you-
Okay.
Yes, leave the stank.
Eldred,
Yes.
do you think you would be able to clean out his pocket?
I'm a wizard. I'm not a miracle worker.
I understand.
There's
Guys,
some
leans over.
things that
I'll pray on it.
I don't know that I have
Wonderful.
spells high enough to be able to handle that.
That I understand.
I don't have any pie in my pocket. So
It's just, Reed, you got really sick from eating something in your pocket.
oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we should clean it before you put more food in it, perhaps.
Well, maybe I have time. I can just wash my pants.
Wonderful. Let's talk. Should we talk to Malicent before or after you wash your pants?
Let's go
Eldred
now.
says,
Guys,
Okay.
if you
You
wash
guys
your
just walk
pants,
upstairs
Reed,
as
I'll teach you how to
well.
fold them so that you don't just have to stand them up in a corner each night.
Okay. Whatever you think is best, Eldred.
And he does a little press detergent, and all of a sudden, all of
Press
the
detergent.
all the crumbs all over your face and all over your front just go and just seem to disappear into space.
Thank you. I had a little blueberry on me too, so that's
All of the blueberry stains on his front shirt and everything are all gone. Though the rest of you notice he still has a very thin mustache of blueberry on the upper lip.
so. I go over to Malicent with my blueberry
And I
mustache.
follow.
Okay. You don't realize it there, Reed.
Yes,
About
I
the
know.
movie. Okay.
I just know that my lip tastes really good when I
Yeah.
my tongue.
Well, you
out,
just
yeah.
had pie, so why wouldn't it? So you go over, and
Mhm.
Militia is writing down something, and just all of a sudden the pen stops, and from inside the hood you hear, "We've become fast friends, it seems, haven't we?"
I guess so. I'm sorry to bother you. I was just hoping that this is Viv, and I was kind of hoping you could tell her anything you might know about the admirer you mentioned earlier.
Ah, happy to
Yes,
oblige.
I'm
And
Viv.
very nice to meet you, Viv. They put out a hand.
And I believe your name is Malician, correct?
Malicious, yes.
Malician.
No? Okay.
She shook
You
it.
should.
Sorry, my hand is not in frame. I did shake it.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's a very beautiful, long, delicate hand with nails that are almost opalescent and seem to come to little points. But it's almost like a teal opalescence, and
Mm.
shakes it very delicately and says, "A pleasure to meet you, Vivalda. Was it
Viv is fine.
Viv?
Hmm.
Very good. I'm going to throw caution to the wind and guess that your friend here told you what I shared with him. And you are
Yes.
curious to learn more, I would imagine.
I would love to hear if you have any other further information.
I do, and I was waiting for this. You came back alone last night, but you weren't alone. You also were under the effects of magic, which I'm quite curious about. I mean, I know elves and their type, but this was different. But as I said, you weren't did not come back alone because once you came inside, I couldn't help but notice someone had been watching you. And they turn and look out the window and point down the block to the corner and say, "On that corner, they were peeking around the corner. Watched you go inside, waited a few moments, looked around, made sure there was nobody on the street, and there wasn't. It was late at night. And then came up to the windows and started looking in, trying to see what they might see. And, well, after a while, they didn't seem to find what they were looking for and disappeared around the back of the building, and I didn't see them again."
I see. All right. Yes, that's very concerning. Thank you so much for looking out.
You're welcome. Anything else
See,
you'd like to know?
I told you he was a friend.
Oh,
Um.
let me correct you, good man. I am no he.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're welcome. It's okay.
But we could still be friends, though, right?
Of course. Far be it
Good.
from me to take offense at a simple mistake. You will know if our friendship has disappeared.
Okay.
I was wondering. Did I say anything when I arrived at the door that you remember, or um
You said you were
any other
sorry
details?
more than a few times.
I believe that. Yeah. Something I'm working on.
I don't see the problem. You're a rare breed indeed. In this city, there are very few people nowadays who understand the importance of apologies. As a matter of fact, you go up to the Overlook and it's almost unheard of, unless forced upon people by people of power.
I know a little bit about it being forced upon people. Um,
Oh, you have stories. But we'll save that for another time. Go on.
anyway, you've been most helpful, and I hope you enjoyed the pie that we fetched earlier.
It
Reed
was
said that you recommended
delicious.
this.
Thank
Yes,
you.
of course. Um,
Um, Forgive me for being so forward, but there is more you should know.
sure. What is it?
Your young friend here, Mr. Reed, or Master Reed, says you're heroes, which surprises me because you certainly don't ask enough questions to be successful heroes, from what I understand the word hero meaning. You should ask more questions.
Um,
And they turn their head to you, Viv, and you notice their very high cheekbones, almost like a chiseled face. It's kind of a almost a metallic teal looking, but it is flesh, but it has a sheen to it. And they smile, and they have these bright white teeth, but they have very sharp incisors, and another set on the bottom. Uh, a long, slim nose. It's not overly long, but it's almost anime-like in its style. And the eyes are sparkle like they're made of gold with these uh, kind of cat's eye pupils. And you see wisps of white hair inside, and up at the top, kind of, you just see at the very top two things that look to be kind of grayish, whitish brown, that like they're almost like lumps that seem to disappear into the hood.
may I ask you a question then?
I would not have opened the door if I did not expect you to walk through it.
Where is it that you are from, if I may ask?
I didn't think that would come quite so quickly.
I apologize if it's too forward.
Oh, like I said, I am the one who opened the door. And that is also the answer, but I will expound upon it. I am not from the Aria. I am not from any of the land of which the Aria claims itself to be a part of. I'm a traveler, a seeker of knowledge.
I see.
I'd appreciate it if you kind of kept that to yourself, though. People
Of course.
don't like people or individuals that are different and that they can't wrap their mind around. And from what I've witnessed of this town, there's lots of people who don't have enough mind to wrap around much of anything anymore.
And Mary treats you well?
Mary is a doll. She treats me
Wonderful.
very well. Especially being that I sit here from shortly after I wake up till shortly before I go to bed. And I don't drink much. I kind of just sit here in my little seat and do my work and watch the world go by.
Were you
If I-
here before? Were you here in Seven Rivers before it got like this?
Mm-hmm.
When it was nicer?
Mm-hmm. I've been here for a while. Until I find what I seek and the direction in which I'm led.
Any chance you got a better look at the figure's face from last night who had followed me? Do you know what they might have been?
They were once human, probably still consider themselves human, but they've been ravaged by magic, by not wizards' magic, more powerful magic than that. You can tell by all the scars.
I see.
What's more powerful than wizards?
Malicent leans into you and whispers and says, "Gods."
Oh. Oh. I kind of go behind Viv. I'm like, okay.
Sorry, I just, how long are you planning on staying here?
It's kind of an open-ended trip at the moment.
I
Things
see.
are getting interesting, and I kind of want to see how it turns out.
Well, thank you again. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us? Or
I have no need to share anything. It's more a question of, are there any more questions you might have? As
I
it,
pop my head out from behind Viv and I'm like, can you find people who might be missing? Do you have that kind of knowledge?
it depends on the person, I think.
My friend Kalandra, she lost her brother, and
Which one is Kalandra? The little blue one?
The gnome.
No.
uh,
That's the
yeah,
other short one, correct?
Mhm.
yes,
The one who wears the clothes.
yep, the clothes. No need to
Gotcha.
say more.
You don't need me for that. All you need to do is learn to ask the right questions.
Hmm, that's not really what I'm good at, but okay.
Could I ask you just one more thing?
You can ask
Um,
me as many as you want at this time. I have no
do you have the
reason to.
capability to change your form in any way?
Yes,
Have we met before?
we have not. But I might know some things on which you might have interest, similar to previous meetings you've had. You're a
Um,
bit of a gambler,
yes.
aren't you? Bit of a card player.
I don't. Uh, Occasionally, yes.
Mhm.
Um, Thank you for this munition. Thank you.
Last chance. Anything else?
Is there something you want us to ask?
I want very little. I need very little. I'm
Do
happy with
you
my
know?
tea.
I do have one question. Do you know some of the secrets about Seven Rivers and what's going on here?
Ah, now we're getting somewhere.
You do. It, do you know about the big fire going on over in the other side of the city?
That is a prelude to disaster.
Do you believe that Seven Rivers can be saved?
Oh, yes. Anything can be saved. The people just want to. But unfortunately, that's wanting a good thing. And that's wanting a good thing for many. And like so many individuals nowadays, they only want what they think is good, which translates to what they want. And that is not good. That is a gateway to disaster. It may take a long time, but no good comes from greed. Greed always gets its due. It may take a long time, but greed always expects payback.
Is it the Baron? Is the Baron being too greedy? I don't know the right questions to ask you.
The Baron is just one of many.
Viv, do you know what to ask? I don't know what to ask.
I don't know either. Um, I I'm curious. Have you come across any individuals that looked like ourselves but behaved a bit differently in the past?
I have not,
All
but
right.
I know of stories throughout history of similar situations.
Where they came through like a black door made of ichor.
Yes. Or some have traveled upon the Silver Highway.
Silver Highway.
Like a mirror?
Yes. Many mirrors are just doorways to the Silver Highway.
Would you mind telling one of those tales that
Ah,
you've heard mention of?
there are many worlds other than this one. Very often people come become enamored with discovering others because they always think that the gold is shinier in the other worlds, or that they might attain something that will make them more powerful or more good looking or more desirable in their world. Stories have happened where people have traveled via the Silver Highway or via the portals to these other worlds. But what they don't consider is for each and every one of those worlds, there is another Viv, another Reed, another Millicent, if I were to be from this world, another Baron. Each and every one of these many worlds has one of you. They're a little different in each and every one. But sometimes the people who go through the doorways and travel the highways aren't as smart as they think they are. And sometimes they don't ask the right questions. And some, even more common, they don't know how to remain silent. So word gets out. People learn of what and who they are. And sometimes another one of them takes the opportunity to come back the way they came. And then things get interesting, because sometimes they cause trouble that doesn't just affect the other them, but affects much more, because they act in the new world the way they would in the old world. The worlds have different rules, each and every one of them. No two worlds are alike, and no two worlds have the same rules. Nothing good can come of that if they stay.
Thank you.
Everything has to remain in balance.
So if there were other us's running around, we should try to make them go away for balance?
If they stick around, yes. Think of it as a glass. And think of you as water. They too are made of water. The glass is your world. Do I need to expand upon that?
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm sorry.
How about you, Miss Viv? Do you need me to
I
expand
think I
upon
understand the concept of the balance. And I think talking to you has helped clear my mind on a few things. Real quick though,
that? I am in no rush at the moment. So
do
ask
you...
what you want, because tomorrow the Millicent you speak to will not be me.
Oh. Why is that?
I, too, am many, but I change frequently, and it is time for me to do so. Millicent will be here tomorrow, but it will not be this Millicent. Millicent will remember you, but will not remember this conversation. And I am sure that the Millicent you speak to tomorrow will be very different from the one you're speaking to now.
I see. The figure from last night, do you recognize any, know them or know of them?
Yes, they are very dangerous. They are part of a, what is the word you call them? Gathering of zealots.
A cult?
Yes, I was going to say religion, but that is probably more specific and correct. They seek change that is not good, and they are also part of the many I've spoken to, the part of the people who feed upon those beneath them.
Why do you think that they would want to mess with me in particular?
That I don't know. Either you or one of your friends has probably caught their attention, or they know one of you, or about one of you. Maybe someone has said something which has gotten back to them. Your admirer is unique, though. This cult, as you say, this one who followed you, is not a common member.
Is it an undead person?
Oh no.
Gaius said that.
Oh no.
Oh.
No, this is just the price they pay for what they call gifts.
Thank you so much for everything that you've shared with us today. Do you, by chance, know of a magic sword?
I know of many magic swords. This world has a history of magic. Back to the wars that were the largest, many of these swords grew to prominence and became legendary, as a matter of fact.
Do you know of a specific magic sword that perhaps a wood elf might have acquired eastward, and perhaps later, a little bit after the Witch Wars, Elderwood?
Say that part again.
Elderwood?
Can you describe the sword for me? We'll say that you describe your father's sword, I assume?
Yes.
I am familiar with the type of sword. It is one of many that were used during the wars. It is worthy, but not impressive. Although,
I see.
in today's world, any magic weapon is impressive, because so many of them have been hidden. Magic hides itself, although it is starting to wake up. But it is not just the swords that are waking up. There is more. And when it all wakes up, things will change.
Thank you. Reed, I was wondering if there's any potentially magic things you want to talk about or ask.
I don't think so. Do
Nothing?
you think do you think I should ask something? Oh,
I don't
you know
know
what?
if
You've been so nice. I do have one question, but it's kind of a secret that I don't usually show people. And I kind of raise the scarf and show the gem.
Ah.
I
You have traveled between worlds,
I have.
haven't you?
Well, maybe my friends did. I was kind of watching he called it a portal. Gaius did something like that, and it like there was like an explosion, but I never left. We were in a house, but it was a house that later disappeared. But we were in a house, and
So this portal exploded, you said.
well, there was an explosion. I don't know if the portal blew up or
Do you know what exploded?
no. I don't. A friend and I were watching the portal, waiting for our friends to return, and there was an explosion, and both my other friend, who I've since lost touches, but the two of us both had these gems in our heads when we woke up.
Ah. Portals are an interesting thing. They are doorways, but doorways are not always what they seem. As I've said, there are many worlds, and magic is different in many worlds. Some worlds, magic is a living thing, and sometimes it needs sustenance, so it seeks out a host. That may sound scary and bad, and sometimes it is. Have you had any negative things happen as a result of it? You don't look wasted away. You don't look mentally damaged. Well, not a lot.
No, I don't think anything too bad has happened, but I
Before
was
this
in a.
stone entered your head,
Mhm.
were you very smart?
Thought so, but maybe not.
And
I
that's
don't know.
changed?
No, I think I'm still myself.
Okay, so there has been no change in your mental capabilities since this happened.
Reed's like blushing. I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, wasn't there? We have a deck of cards. And I remember it affected you, Reed, in some way, as well as Gaius.
Well, that when I don't know why, but I did feel just a little weaker, a little slower, maybe. But I think I'm okay.
let I want to now I do have a question, but first I will finish with you, Master Reed. The bit of stone in your head, it is alive, but that is not necessarily a bad thing.
Are you sure? That sounds
Mm,
bad.
It could be bad depending on where it's from, but if you was this a long time ago that this happened?
Months ago. Months ago. It did. The only time I've ever really felt it do anything was we were in that. I don't know if you know this, the Stradivarnius house.
I
It
do
kind of
not.
feels like it's it's an old house on the edge of the big crater, and it's kind of like haunted. I had a friend who disappeared into a mirror, and the whole place seemed very scary. And then we went to the upper floors, and there was a scary kind of spider web thing up there. And I think there was something in the web. We didn't stick around too long, but this thing started vibrating when we were up there. The
Ah.
web was kind of like, it wasn't like regular spider web, it was like flesh ish.
This
You
house
mentioned
as well was the place where we found the black mirror that our doubles came through.
is this
Mm.
also the mirror of which you lost your friend, Master Reed?
No, not the same mirror. The house, so that where our doubles came through was very far below the house in like a catacomb type thing.
So
And
many stairs.
yeah,
Where is this house?
we could show it to you. It's on the edge of the. It's on the edge of
I think
the big crater.
we
Not everybody
accessed
can
it
see it though.
through. We would go to, what is it called? The Black Friars? Is that correct?
How we got
That
to
we
the
would go to the
Stradivari.
Black Friars and we would like go through it to get outside to this place.
That's one way.
That's the way I remember taking.
The house itself is located on this side of the crater, right? Not the eastern districts.
The house is in the eastern districts.
Oh, okay. I do tell them that.
This house is quite extraordinary, and yet I've never seen it. Think about it.
Also, Reed,
This
didn't people from the Overlook send a bunch of guards over there to investigate, but they never returned or something like that?
They did. That house seems to it reeks of evil. There was so many bones in there, and it apparently is so old it should have fallen down long ago, but something is keeping it there, and not everybody can see it.
don't jump to conclusions, Master Reed. There are very few houses I've ever come across that actually eat the flesh or consume the flesh off bones. But I think your house is no ordinary house.
Mm.
From everything you've just told me, this house not only contains an entrance to the Silver Highway, but also contains at least one other portal and a gateway. I do believe, Master Reed, when you felt the gem in your head activate, it was because of its close proximity to its brothers and sisters. I think there is a gateway to that world. And where there are gateways like that, there are usually gatekeepers. Hence, I think your web.
Oh.
And if that is the way of things, I think there is your answer for your bones.
Oh. So this is from another world?
I think so. Matter of fact, I would feel fairly confident on betting your life on it.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
You mentioned you had a question for us.
Yes. What do you know of this house?
Not very much for me, at least. I know Gaius and Reed and Eldred probably have the most experience with it.
Yeah, a lot of spooky stuff happened in there. There was like a sub basement that was filled with the bones. So many bones. And then the main floors of the house were there were mirrors in almost every room, and many of us while we were there saw things in the mirrors that weren't actually in the room. And like I said, one night I woke up and I saw one of my friends. We had to stay the night at the house. And when I woke up, I saw one of my friends and they were standing in front of the mirror. And I think I dozed off. And when I woke up, they were gone. But I knew they went into the mirror. I know they disappeared into the mirror because I saw them later. And they couldn't get out and they were trying to get me to come in to the mirror.
Well, it is possible that what you saw was not your friend.
That's
The
what guys
Silver
said.
Highway touches upon many worlds. Not all those worlds are good, as I've mentioned, and not all travelers are good. The Silver Highway can be very busy, although because it is so vast, it does not always reflect that. There are those who are mischievous and those who like to lure others from their worlds. Those who collect people from other worlds. Those that feed upon people from other worlds. But there are good travelers as well. And there are those
Like
who are
you?
neither good nor bad. And then there are the she. So what you came upon might have been any number of individuals. I do not think it was your friend. I think your friend was taken. I think they are either no more or living out their lives in another world. They may not even realize it, because that world may be very much like this world. Or it might be completely alien and they might be scared out of their wits. But you, Miss Vivalda, were going to ask me something.
Yes, I was wondering if you know anything about it's like a deck of cards, and I believe they're the cards of trials.
Ah, the trial. I have heard of this. I know it as the promises of the ancients.
I see.
It is an interesting little item. An artifact, I think, is what it would be called in your world.
I see. We each pulled a card, and I met a person with mine, and they said that their name was Destiny, and I was just wondering if you knew anything else perhaps about that, or maybe if these cards could be used in some way to help others, or if it is just kind of random.
From my knowledge of the promises, they are legitimate. And just like there are many worlds, each world has their own destinies. And each world has its own gods and its own higher powers. Who is to say which world the one you met came from? But if they were indeed destiny, and if you are correct and what you possess is the promises of the ancients, there's no reason to disbelieve that. They would know of which world you are part of, and would have no reason to lie if they spoke to you. Destiny is one of the purest things that exists.
Thank you, this has been so helpful.
I can't think of anything else to ask.
Is there anything that you might want from us, or need from us, or want to ask us about?
I will ask you to be kind to the version of me that arrives tomorrow morning. They will be
Of course.
new, and they will not know any better. You don't have to seek them out. They will not seek you out. They will not know any better. But if you do have dealings with them, be kind. And be aware that they will not be as I am. You caught me in an interesting stage in my life. After tonight, I doubt we will ever meet again unless, of course, you travel outside of your world, and it sounds like you have plenty of options for that. But
Apparently.
the chances are finding a grain of sand on an infinite seashore, so don't hold out hope, but the possibility is there. And secondly, remember what I said. There are very few people in this world or any world anymore who seeks the greater good outside of their own wants and desires. You have the opportunity to change things before there is no chance of doing so. If you care about your world, then you care at all. Do not ignore the signs that you have already seen. Do not ignore what is happening.
Okay. You can
If
always
not-
seek us out if we can't find you in the future.
You said that you won't remember this conversation, or that you
I
that
will
you
not
would.
know.
You will not.
The
Alright.
version of me that you will meet tomorrow will know nothing of this conversation. They will know why I am there and what I have studied. This particular conversation will not be a part of that memory, though. I am an aspect of that Millicent that is due to move on, but Millicent is not done with this world as of yet. Just the part of them that is me.
Thank you so much for everything.
I wish all the best for you. You have a troubling road ahead of you.
It's not easy to be here.
Hopefully it leads to something good.
I hope so for your sake. Although, as with many worlds, your future has many roads to choose from. Choose wisely.
Thank you.
Viv would give a nod. And look to Reed. And look back. And your secret is safe with us.
Thank you. Especially keep it from myself. They have
Understood.
so much to look forward to before the likes of me meet them again.
Will do.
And
You have a
thank
nice
for the
evening.
pie. It
Of
was
course.
enjoyable.
I'm glad that you liked it.
Mhm.
And they pick up their pen and start marking things down again.
Wander away.
I walk away with Reed.
Until next week, same Grognard time, same Grognard channel. And as Malician has said, be kind.